Hello. We are moving on to more word problems today. These notes you'll find in Classroom. So follow along. You might even want to print your own copy. It would be a good idea to have all the different types of word problems printed out so you can reference back to them. We're going to have the ones we did in the beginning of the week. We'll have perimeter now. And then we'll move on to word problems that I call consecutive integer word problems. And then we'll have word problems that have tables and charts. So there are going to be 4 kinds, and each one works a little bit differently. But once you've done it a few times, then you start to get the hang of it. We'll look to have a test on this before we leave for Thanksgiving. So for us, I think that will be Friday, the 20th of November. So not today, Friday, but the 20th will be our quiz. So here we go. Word problems on perimeter. I know they can be a little overwhelming, any of the word problems, but if you try to just follow along with each one, it gets easier and easier the more you do it. So if it feels overwhelming at first, stick with it, don't give up. And I think it'll get a little easier with each one. You might not understand it at the very, very first example, but you'll understand it more as we go. So I wrote some steps down. Especially with perimeter problems, drawing a picture can be really, really helpful. So I write, draw a picture and label the sides of the polygon. Polygon just means a multi-sided figure. So we're going to deal a lot of the times with rectangles, but we might sometimes have a triangle. We might have a square, all 4 sides are equal, and we might have other polygons as well. So to remind you what different polygons there are, we have a pentagon. A pentagon has 5 sides. We also could have, ooh, good zoom tight to me. We also could have a hexagon. A hexagon is 6 sides. And then we could have decagon, which is 10, but we don't really see that very often. So usually a pentagon or a hexagon might be the other ones that you see. So the first thing we're going to do for each problem is draw a picture. So let's look at the first one. The length of a rectangle is 5x minus 7, and the width is 3x plus 2. So now we're going to get algebraic expressions to represent the sides of our shapes. So they're telling us the length is 5x minus 2 or minus 7. The width is 3x plus 2. Find the length and the width find the length and the width if, the perimeter is 70 centimeters. So perimeter means the space around. So our next step is write an equation based upon the given information. Well, if I know the perimeter is 70, that's going to be all 4 sides added up. Well, if this is a rectangle, if this is 5x minus 7, so is this. And if this width is 3x plus 2, so is this. So the perimeter is not just 2 sides added up, but all 4. So the equation for the perimeter is going to be 5x minus 7. You can think of this 2 ways. We can do 5x minus 7 plus 5x minus 7 plus 3x plus 2 plus 3x plus 2 equals 70. Or we can say 2 times 5x plus 7 plus 2 times 3x plus 2 equals 70. Either way, you're going to get the same thing. So if I want to write it as 2 lengths plus 2 widths, that's fine. Or you can write 5x minus 7 plus 5x minus 7 plus 3x plus 2 plus 3x plus 2 equals 70. Both are going to get you the same thing. Our third step is solve the equation. So let me just put an arrow and go over here. And if I solve the equation, maybe this one is the easiest. I'm going to put all my x's together. So 5, 10, 13, I have 16x. And then I have minus 7 plus 2 plus 2. That gives me minus 14 plus 2 gives me a negative 10. Add 10 to both sides. 16x is going to equal 80. Divide both sides by 16. X is going to equal, what's 80 divided by 16? Does it go in 5 times exactly? Yes, x equals 5. Okay, so what the heck does that mean? Well, if x is 5, that means I want to use that x to substitute it back into that expression and into that expression to find the length and the width. The last step up here says answer the question. So don't forget to answer the question. The answer is not 5. The question said find the length and the width. So I need to substitute 5 back into the originals. So the length is going to be 5 times 5 minus 7, which is 25 minus 7, which will be 18. And that's going to be centimeters. And this is the length. I'm running out of room. And the width is 3 times 5 plus 2. So it's going to be 17 centimeters. Okay, the length is 18 centimeters, the width is 17 centimeters. Okay, not too bad. Now this problem was a little easier because it told us exactly what expression to use for the length and the width. As we move forward, it's going to get a little more difficult because they might say the length is 7 less than 5 times the width. And then you're going to know to set up something like this. So let's look at the next one. The perimeter of a rectangle is 228 feet. If the length is 6 more than twice the width, find the dimensions of the rectangle. Well, something has to be x, and then something has to be 6 more than twice x. Well, here's a hint. Whatever comes last in your descriptive mathematical sentence is going to be your x. It's saying the length. This is the length. This is 6 more than twice the width. So the width has to be our x. And again, if you're not sure, it's the thing that comes second in that mathematical sentence. The length is 6 more than twice the width. So our length is 6 more than twice the width. So we have to let our width be x, and our length is 6 more than twice it. So there's our picture. Write an equation. You can do, I'll do it this way this time. I'll do 2 times 2x plus 6 plus 2 times x equals the perimeter of 228. Distribute 4x plus 12 plus 2x equals 228. 6x plus 12 equals 228. Subtract the 12 to 16. Divide by 6, x equals 36. Am I finished? No, I've got to put 36 back in. So when I put 36 in for the width, I'm good. I don't need to do anything. The width is going to be 36 feet in this case because the problem says feet. And the length is going to be 2 times 36 plus 6. 2 times 36 is 72 plus 6 is 78 feet. So there's our answer for that. Okay, now we move on to a different shape. Sorry while I tilt the camera for a second. Okay, now we've got a hexagon. So another thing I didn't tell you was what the word regular means. Well, if a hexagon is 6 sides, being regular means all the sides are equal. If it wasn't this way, I wouldn't be able to figure it out. So first let me draw that picture, a 6-sided figure. Oops, not a great picture, but that's okay. All they're telling us is the perimeter of the hexagon is 66 inches, but they're telling us the hexagon is regular. That means all the sides are x. Well, the perimeter of this is 66. So add up all the sides, x plus x plus x 6 times. So 6x equals 66. Divide by 6, we get 11. And I don't even have to worry much about substituting because all of the sides are just x. So find the length of each side. Each side is 11 inches. Cool. Okay, triangle, next one, number 4. And you can always pause and then read the question yourself and then come back and see how you're doing. The perimeter of a triangle is 40 inches. The second side is 1 more than twice the first side. The third side is 2 inches less than the second side. Find the length of each side. Well, it doesn't matter how I want to think about these. Let me say this is the first, this is the second, this is the third. It doesn't really matter. What matters is which one are we going to call x? Well, let's read the first part. The second side is 1 more than twice the first side. So see how that first side comes last in that little math statement? That means the first side is going to be x. And the second side is 1 more than twice that first side. 1 more than twice. Now the third side is going to be a little different. The third side is 2 inches less than the second side. So it's the second side minus 2. See how that works? I don't pick another variable or anything else. I base the second side on the first side because it says the second side is 1 more than twice the first. And I base the third side on the second because it says the third side is 2 inches less than the second, so the second side minus 2. Now all 3 sides are labeled. The perimeter is 40, so I have to add up all the sides. I don't have a formula to use for perimeter of a triangle. I just have to add them all up. So x plus 2x plus 1 plus 2x plus 1 minus 2 equals 40. Let's put this together. My x's, I have 5x. My numbers, I have minus 1. Uh-oh. That's not going to work out well, is it? Ooh, gross. I'm going to change the problem in your notes. I'm really sorry because I want this to work out better. Let's say that the perimeter is 39. You're actually probably looking at a worksheet where it says 39 because I'm going to go back and fix it before I post this. Let's just pretend all along it said 39. Great. So now we've got 5x equals add 1, 40. And therefore x is going to equal 8. So what are the dimensions? What are the lengths of each side? We've got one side that's 8 inches. We've got one side that's 2 times 8 plus 1. And we've got one side that's 2 times 8 plus 1 minus 2. So 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17, minus 2 is 15. So there's the 3 sides of our triangle. All right, last one. Okay, we've got a triangle again. Sorry about the shaking. Try this one yourself. See if you can set it up. So take a second, pause the video, draw yourself a triangle and try it. Come back when you're ready. Okay, so now we've got a second side, a first side, and a third side. However we feel like saying it. The second side of the triangle is 3 times as long as the first side. So this first side is going to be our x. And the second side is 3 times as long. The third side is 2 inches shorter than the second. There's our sides. The perimeter is 47. Let's set up our equation. Let's add our variables up. Add 2 to both sides. Oh man, it's going to happen again. I'm going to get a bad number. Oh no, I'm not. Ha ha ha. I messed up. 47, add 2, I get 49. Divide by 7. X equals 7. Answer the question. What's the length of each side? Well, one of the sides is x, so we have 7 inches. One of the sides is 3x, so we have 21 inches. One of the sides is 3x minus 2, so that's 19 inches. Done. All right, I want you to go try the assignment. I'm going to do the answers to that as well, and let me know if you have questions, and we'll go through those. So as you're doing it, and if you have a question on one, just post the question. I can do a quick video too to go through the answer to that. All right. Good job, everybody.